GryphonHR is a Form I-9 and E-Verify solution that enables employers to complete the Form I-9 electronically and then pushes the information from the Form I-9 to E-Verify through a seamless integration. While systems such as these are not new to the industry, the approach we take allows employers to focus on the ever-growing demand for a compliant solution for remote workers. In today's video, we are going to go through the E-Verify tentative non-confirmation process, also known as the TNC. The TNC process shows how the employer initiates the TNC in the GryphonHR system and then shows how the employee logs in to the employee portal and chooses to respond to the TNC. The process is very easy and effective while saving time for the employer and making it easy for the employee to access the details they need to resolve the tentative non-confirmation. We will start the process in the video prior to receiving the tentative non-confirmation at the Re-Verify and Resubmit screen. This screen populates prior to the employee receiving the TNC as a warning from E-Verify, letting the employer know that something in either Section 1 or Section 2 is incorrect. The employer has the ability to do a revision of Section 2 right there on the spot, or they can even send a revision request to an outside agent to complete Section 2, to complete the Section 2 revision, or assign it back to the employee to find someone to help them complete the revision. We also have the ability to send the employee an email to revise Section 1 to correct any possible errors. If no corrections are needed, the employee will indicate that on the screen and push the record back out to E-Verify by selecting Confirm Case Details. We're going to go ahead and confirm those details here, and we're hoping that our TNC will populate. Once that TNC does populate, then we can show and go through this process in the remote aspect. So here we're confirming the case details. We just give it a second for E-Verify to come back. We should receive our TNC. So here we're just showing that yes, the employee received the TNC, and now we have the ability to download the fan notice. We can also refresh the case details or close the case if we feel like we've created an error, or we can select exit and come back and review this at a later time. Today I'm going to select download fan notice. Once we do that, we're going to populate that fan notice. Give it just a second here to populate. And here we go. Once we initiate that, we can review the further action notice, but simultaneously we're sending a task out to the employee to ask them to log into their employee portal to review the further action notice. Once we go through this process, we're just going to close this page and go back to our TNC screen, and now you can see that we've updated. So here we show that the employee has the ability to choose to take action or not take action. Of course, we can't select that on behalf of the employee, so those are both marked so that we're not able to. But again, the employee has sent that email. Now, if we felt like the employee was not going to take action, if they said they're not going to resolve this, we can indicate that by selecting this here, which would result in a final non-confirmation, or we can close the case because it was correct. What I'm going to do is go ahead and just exit out of this page. I'm going to make note of that E-Verify case up here so we can look that up in just a moment. And now the employee has received that email. We're going to show that email here in just a second. I'll pull that email over so you can see what the employee sees, and we'll go through that employee process. The employee is going to click on the link that's in their email. They should have their user password already, but we're providing them the username. If they don't have their password, they can select Forgot Password, and we would send them a link to do that. But I'm going to go ahead and log in here and just pull over my E-Verify, or I'm sorry, my employee portal, and I'm going to log in. So we're just going to enter the employee's name and password, and then we'll log in. We can see under the things to do that we have a task assigned. We can just click on that red number 1 that takes us into the task, and from here we can view the fan letter. When I click on View Fan Letter, we're going to see we have the ability to review the letter itself. All the information is populated here. And then at the top of the screen, we have the ability to review and sign. When we select that, we have the ability to take action to resolve, or we can indicate that we're not going to take action, which again results in a final non-confirmation, which we would close at that time. Here I'm going to select the employee will take action. I'm just going to click on that and submit and continue. And once I do that, it's going to remove that task. Give it just a second here to update. So now if I go down to the bottom of my screen and go to my employee documents, we can see we have not only the electronic I-9, but the EVerify fan letter. When I click on that, we can see all the information there. Everything is signed. The employee has all the details at their disposal. And if I look here, I also have my EVerify referral date confirmation, which tells us that the employee has until August 15th to review this process. I'm going to go ahead and close that out. I'm going to come over here, look at my waiting for EVerify, and I can see that Tracy TNC is here and that her TNC is referred. There's no action at this time that needs to be taken, but we can see on the employee's I-9 EVerify tab within the employee profile that her EVerify information is there. So now we just wait on EVerify to follow up. If it turns out that it's a final non-confirmation, it will show up in the cases that need to be closed. We would then terminate the employee ideally, or if the employee receives an employment authorized result, there's no further action. So again, the TNC process in a nutshell in the remote hire capacity is very easy to use, and all of that information the employee has at their fingertips through their mobile phone within their employee portal. Feel free to reach out to us at GryphonHR.com for any questions.